Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Handbags, Manbags, Bumbags podcast. This week we were pretty stuck for what we were actually going to be deciding to do. We have got Jake back, although you can't see his video because he's decided he doesn't actually want to be on camera this week.
Lazy bastard.
To be fair, we're only struggling for ideas because the two guys either side of me have very limited sports knowledge, so...
I think you'll find that's false.
No, I was thinking of doing
news.
tennis, but neither of them like tennis, so...
Well, it's personal preference, really. We don't all like tennis. Rob doesn't like any other sport other than football.
Exactly, but then, like...
Maybe tennis is just a sport I just don't really like that much.
Tennis is world class, though.
Let's just get it out of the way now. This is a shambles.
Poor from you guys, poor.
You're poor. Where have you been for the last 2 weeks?
Let's apologise in advance for this shambles of a podcast.
Where have you been? Where have you been for the last 2 weeks?
Asleep the first week, home the second week.
Still poor.
Yeah,
could have dialed in from home.
Shambles, but we're back on Zoom because we haven't got our...
Yeah, it is just a shambles episode
we've had to
this
change
week.
studio because the other one was booked, so we're back on Zoom because we can't put the camera in here. Our headphones don't work, so we have no idea what this audio sounds like, so we're just hoping it's all right and we can put it out.
We're
doing, so standard.
It's a fingers crossed sort of episode, really, because none of us have a clue what's going to happen.
It sounds so weird not listening to the episode through headphones.
And we don't really know what we're doing in terms of content-wise, really, because we've literally just come up with this at the last minute. We're just going to be...
I didn't realise. I'd never thought the headphones had much effect until I've done an episode. Now I'm not wearing headphones. It sounds so weird.
It does sound weird. But coming up this week, we are going to be going into, in a sense, almost cult heroes, really, of various clubs in the Premier League. I mean, we were going to come up with the idea of maybe doing one from each club, but we realised that we haven't really got a clue about any clubs like Brentford or Brighton, whatever. But hey-ho, we'll give it a go. We'll start with Arsenal. Might as well. I mean, this is coming a bit of a regular theme, really. It's just going to be 20 clubs that... Our 20 clubs thingy, but we're just thinking of a different thing to do on the 20 clubs each week. Yeah. Last week it was transfers, where I slightly preempted the Orsic deal, which now Rob predicted to fall through.
I predictably said that the deal would fall through, and I also said Newcastle would sign a striker, a left-back, and Gomes, and they've signed Gomes, they're about to sign Matt Target, and they're about to sign a striker.
That might break down.
Confirmed Dan Burn as well.
Yeah. Oh, excellent.
Oh, no, that's what I said, actually. No, I said centre-back, not striker, that's what I said. I said a centre-back, a left-back, and Gomes.
Yeah, but let's stop messing around at this and let's go into Arsenal cult heroes then.
Or as Twitter likes to call him, Asna.
Asna, yeah.
ASSNA.
This is literally just going to be off the crumb, really, because none of us really know any.
Off the crumb? I've never heard of that one. Off the crumb?
Off the crumb?
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Off the cuff?
Yeah, that. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, we're a shambles. We're actually a shambles.
This podcast probably won't even get released, to be honest. It'll probably just end up being 2 weeks off. But anyway, I can't even think of any Arsenal players that were half decent.
You just ruined it there as well. We're having a week off because it's Ben's birthday and he's not here.
Yeah, and I don't trust you to edit it.
Arsenal cult hero players. Let's think.
William Gallas.
I trust us to record it, not us to the editing would be.
No, yeah, exactly. Shut up.
We could record.
Shut up, Rob. Get on with the Jake. Fuck off. Let's get on with the content. Right, Arsenal cult heroes.
In a sense, you could call Abu Dhabi a bit of a cult hero, really, because he never actually got to
Emmanuel Iboué
fulfill his true potential. Because Abu Dhabi kind of feels like.
I've got it. I've won.
He's a bit of a myth player, really, like Abu Dhabi.
I've got the best.
What, Matthew Flamini?
Nope. Nicholas Bentner.
Oh, okay, yeah, that hands down wins.
Lord Bentner.
Lord Bentner, hands down, wins any day of the week.
Yep, there we go.
I mean, to be honest, you could probably think of loads for Arsenal, to be honest, because there was that era where they just had loads of heroes, like your likes of Iboué, your Bentners.
Shamak.
Marwan Shamak.
Squillaci.
Yeah. Even Wojciech Szczesny when he was at Arsenal.
But,
Arsenal.
Yeah, Abu Dhabi, in a sense, is kind of like a myth player, really, because he barely ever played, but everybody knew he had so much potential. So
this isn't the biggest injury merchant you've ever seen in your life, Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi.
Abu
Dhabi.
That's where the country Abu Dhabi came from. Just Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
They just changed it up a bit. We're actually just waffling so much here. This is embarrassing. Right, move on. Next club, Villa. I want to headbutt the mic, but I just know it's just going to sound awful. Villa. Is it Villa next? I don't even know anymore. Yeah, it is.
I thought we weren't doing each club. I don't know.
John Carew.
I was going to say John Carew. Gabby Agbonlahor is another one for me.
I don't know if he's a cult hero though. Agbonlahor. He's just a strike. He's just a bloke.
What was that something about? Was his name Mel Olberg or something like that?
Olaf Melberg.
That's him. Yeah.
Yeah, what a player. There's
this
loads.
is basically just. This is like how I described this episode. Imagine when you whack on Premier League years. And you just you sit there like you whack on Premier League years like 11, 12, and you just sit there and go, oh yeah, I remember.
Those were the good old days.
What a player he was.
And in Jake's eyes, these were the years that Burnley went in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So
we were talking earlier. We were randomly discussing how good West Brom's team used to be in like 2014. We're just going through like Ben Foster, Jonas Olsen,
Gareth McCauley.
Jakob. We're just going through like basically like that. You whack on. It's like
James Morrison.
We're doing that, but for like a 20-year period now. Because
not James McClain.
We've been talking about old footballers all day, so now we're making that.
This is basically all we do, though. I mean, we've done 2 podcasts on this before, essentially, but this is just more of
nice to reminisce, really.
It is nice to reminisce. Not that we've got any structure to this whatsoever, and I keep coming out with random.
This is what a podcasts don't always have structure. Sometimes they're just a bit of waffle.
Well, we used to do that quite a lot, and in some cases we have.
Let's go back to waffling. I reckon. I don't care about doing the other clubs. Let's just talk randomly. Brentford ain't got it. Brentford's only been in the Prem.
No, Brentford. I'm sorry, but Brentford don't deserve it yet.
They've got like what Jonas Lossell because he's the only one.
Pontus Jansson, absolute shithouse though.
Pontus Jansson, actually, yeah. I think I've skipped.
Silence.
Was it even Brentford next today?
It was Brentford, but that goes to Brighton. Glenn Murray. For me.
Brighton.
Glenn Murray.
Glenn Murray. I mean, well, it's not really Premier League cult hero. He's more of a Championship cult hero.
It's like Mitrovic.
He's like Anthony Knockaert as well.
Cut it in the Premier
League. He's a bit of a cult hero only because.
Where is Knockaert now? Is he still at Fulham?
I thought he was like a Forest.
I know he went to Forest. I think. I think he might have gone back to France. I honestly don't know. I will Google this.
I think. Remember when Paul Merson, but he called. Jahambash, you called him like Ali Reza Jahama Costa or something like. How'd you butcher a name that badly?
Here he is at Fulham.
I mean, Paul Merson's always been renowned for getting players' names dreadfully wrong. Anthony Knockaert. Oh, he is at Fulham still.
Yeah, we're so old. Anthony Knockaert is now 30. I swear he still should be like 20.
I think the only thing Anthony Knockaert's most remembered for is that penalty miss against Watford when he was at Leicester.
How is he only 8 years older than me?
That's a bit depressing for you, really. That.
Yeah.
Only 8 years, bro. What the hell?
Yeah, he's still. He's still there now, but he hasn't played a game all season.
How he declined.
His last appearance. Oh no, he's played 2 games. No, wait, is that so? Oh, he's played 2 cup games as well and a couple of league games this season. That's it.
That's not great for him, really. I mean, it was one of those players that had quite high potential. But he just gradually declined ever since he missed that penalty for Leicester.
He's made a total of 55 appearances for Fulham, and 39 of them were the season he signed on loan from Brighton. So since he signed on a permanent, he's just got worse. He's made 16 appearances in 3 years since he signed on a permanent for Fulham.
That's something really for Knockaert. It is actually Burnley next. I could think of. Let me think.
This is where we'll this is the other angle I wanted us to take. Because I was again a conversation we were having earlier in our house. Like the teams that made you fall in love with football generally, and then
being a Burnley fan, that never fall in love with anything.
Burnley for you, like what was the Burnley team when you like properly fell in love with the club and wanted to start watching every week?
Well,
it's funny like you compare my Liverpool one to what it is now. We were so bad when I started.
Well, in terms of Burnley, I mean, my dad got me into watching Burnley probably in the 08-09 season because that's when we were. Like really the surprise underdog in the Championship.
Yeah.
Everyone was expecting us to get relegated that season. Mm-hmm. And Owen Cole got us to the League Cup semi-final, where we only just lost to Tottenham, and we got through the playoffs.
I said that was Spurs that went on to win the. Was it?
No, they didn't win it that year. I don't think. Or they might. No, I think they did bottle it. It was the season. It was the season before they won it.
Yeah, they won in 2008. So yeah, they must have been the.
Yeah, it was the 08-09 season we played them. But yeah, that was the Burnley side that really started to get me into football, really. Going to, I think my first away day actually was here in Stoke.
What, Andre BK?
That's too early for BK. He joined the following season when we were in the Prem.
No, I'm just saying, like, around that era there.
Roughly that era.
Yeah.
But we have people like Brian Jensen in goal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was our centre-back partnership. Stephen Caldwell and Clark Carlisle. Players like Chris Eagles. That's when Jay Rodriguez was really young.
Chris Eagles, that's a run from the past.
Yeah. He was on loan from Man United that season, and then we signed him permanently. When we were in the Prem. Who else? Robbie Blake, obviously. you can't get away from that goal he scored against Man United.
Mm-hmm.
That screamer in our first home game in the Premier League. I mean, that was just...
Didn't Carrick miss a penalty?
Yes, he did. Jensen saved it. I don't know why Carrick was taken in the first place when you had... I'm pretty sure you had Rooney and Michael Owen on the pitch.
Yeah, so going down there, it's like knockout. Obviously missed the penalty for the...
Yeah.
And he missed the tap-in as well, didn't he?
No, but there is a lot of teams that are Burnley related that I can think of. I mean, obviously we've said before in a previous episode, our 17-18 season, where we got into Europe, that'll always go down in the memory.
I'm just reflecting back on my old Liverpool team, sorry.
Shut up. But yeah, 2017-18 Burnley is always one that will go down for me, but also getting into the Premier League for that first time. Yes, we were only there for a season, and everyone thought we wouldn't come back up after that. But then we were...
Unfortunately you did, but...
Yeah. Cry more. Go on, cry more.
Oh, you'll be the one that's crying at the end of the season.
I don't care. I've said for years I prefer the Championship.
You'll be the one who's crying this time next week when Burnley beat United.
I probably will, to be honest.
I've said for years now that the Championship is better than the Premier League.
Yeah, but you say that, but then the year after you'll be in League One after.
Nah, we won't be in League. No, it won't be to that extent.
Nah, well, when Cornet leaves, Wout Weghorst leaves as well.
Woot!
When Tarkowski leaves.
Well, he's leaving anyway, so it doesn't make much difference.
Yeah, but it's still a player that'll be let gone. Probably Nick Pope will probably leave.
I mean, didn't we discuss this a couple of weeks ago? Who would get in my Burnley rant?
You had your rant about Burnley.
In my Burnley rant, if we got rid of players, I said who'd leave, and it would probably literally be all of them bar the midfield.
Yeah, basically, because the midfield's not Premier League quality.
Exactly, which is why we're trying to strengthen it.
The few players there are would leave.
Yeah, but I don't want this podcast to just be me ranting on about Burnley all the time.
Nick Pope's going to be the new keeper in Newcastle's top half push if they stay off and Burnley go down.
He's older. He's about the same age as Dubravka, though. Nick Pope.
Yeah, but he's better. Though.
No, I reckon if Newcastle do get Dean Henderson today, I reckon if he does well, they might just buy him on a permanent. To be honest,
they've got the money for it.
I can't see that going through. To be honest.
They've got the money for it, but anyway, enough about me and Burnley. You want to reminisce about your Liverpool days?
Yeah, I just started googling old teams. To be honest, this basically all started because I saw that Maxie Rodriguez got announced to play in the Liverpool Legends games coming up, which reminded me.
To be fair, Ben Mee's getting his testimonial soon for being 10 years at Burnley. So
I was just looking back through, the old teams.
Don't know why he decided to do that.
Like when I first started watching when Hodgson was in charge, so we were rubbish, and for some reason I decided to carry on at that point and go, yeah, this is the team, and we were terrible then. But then when it got to the point Dalglish starting to take over and Hodgson went, just the team was like, I found the 11 of when we beat Man United 3-1 at Anfield, and Dirk Kuyt scored a hat trick from a combined distance of about 3 yards. They're all tap-ins.
Yeah.
And then we beat them there. I was looking back through this 11. It just brings me so much joy and satisfaction looking back. So Pepe Reina goal, Johnson at right back, Fabio Aurelio left back.
Fabio Aurelio,
yeah.
See, that's a throwback.
There's Carragher and Skirtle on this day. Carragher at the end of his career, but Agger and Skirtle at that point. I was going to say prime. Gerrard,
I'll tell you what.
Just past his prime here.
Sorry for interrupting you, but when Burnley played Man United in that 09-10 game, I've just having a look now. Apparently we played a back five. What is this sorcery? What is this? We played a back five. Graham Alexander, Clark Carlisle, Tyrone Mears, Andre Biquet and Stephen Jordan. What is this?
This front, the front three, it doesn't sound like much, but the front three of Dirk Kuyt and Luis Suarez, when he was 2 months into his career at Liverpool at this point, and Maxie Rodriguez, just hearing them them three, that just brings me so much I just reminisce so much that era. That's what made me fall in love with football and with Liverpool. Watching them three every week. I can remember clear as day when Maxie Rodriguez hat trick away at Fulham. I don't know why I remember that. I just do.
It's just random things that just pop up.
Yeah, it's just Maxie Rodriguez hat trick at Craven Cottage. I think we won 5-0 and he got 3 of them.
Darren Gibson was on
even the midfield,
bench.
You've got Lucas Leiva, the ultimate cult hero of the modern era for Liverpool. We're talking about the cult hero players. Obviously, you got Origi, is quite obviously the current one at the moment, and Phillips has become one. But Lucas is the ultimate one.
Oh, what a guy.
David
Ngog was on the bench in this game. So Lucas.
Where's he knocking around now? He's pretty retired, isn't he?
At this point.
He's got to be retired.
Ngog? No, I don't think so.
He was here for
surely.
He was here for 10 years or so.
Google.
10 years or so he spent at Liverpool. He's not Brazilian anymore. He is just Scouse now. It's obviously the unlucky meme. Such a legend. Every time he gets the ball, with the whole of Anfield just goes shoot.
He's 32 years old.
So
he's playing in Budapest.
Scored like 4 goals in his 10 years or something. Every time he got the ball, he's like. I remember we beat like 2015 or something. Klopp's first season or something. We got taken to a replay by bloody Plymouth. And we won the replay 1-0 at their stadium from a Lucas corner header. And honestly, you think we'd won the Champions League on the away end, right? Because look, it was Lucas Leiva that put the ball in the net.
Does this just make you reminisce of a Man United fan? This team when you played us. Ben Foster is in goal. You've got Patrice Evra, Johnny Evans, Wes Brown, and John O'Shea as your back four. Gary Neville was on the bench.
To be fair, we could actually probably do with that back four. To be honest, it's better than our current one.
Anderson in midfield. Ryan Giggs, Park, and Michael Carrick, and then Rooney and Michael Owen up top.
As well.
That's like that team should have bloody won.
You have Berbatov on the bench as well.
Yeah.
This team when you played, this team I've got up, to be fair, like makes it even more impressive. Why I love this. Like this is probably, if you could limit it back to like, that's an interesting point we can go into later. But like, if you could go back to one game where you just knew definitely. Football is my sport. This is my team. I think this is the game for me when we beat the Dirk Kell hat-trick against United. That's when I was.
Oh, I'm trying to think what that might be.
There was never going to be in any doubt this game. The next point for me.
I'm trying to think what that would be for me.
Well, this United side as well. Like you didn't notice at the time because I say someone who's still trying to get in, who's still getting into football early doors. This team: Van der Sar, Evra, Brown, Smalling, Raphael, Giggs, Carrick, Scholes, Nani, Berbatov, Rooney.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Javier Hernandez as well. That's a Premier League hero.
What year was that Dirk Kell hat-trick then?
This is March 2011.
2011. So if I'm trying to think 2011, that's Championship days for us.
No, I wasn't 9 yet. Was I? I was 8 at this point because I would turn 9 in a few months' time.
I would have been 9. So
this for me.
We're talking the was it 2010-2011 season or 2011-12?
This will be 10-11.
So that'd be actually nothing good happened that season. That was when Brian Laws was in charge of Burnley.
Because I remember, for me, because I remember some of my earliest Liverpool memories is I remember randomly I got 2 negative ones, the early ones I can remember. I remember getting knocked out by Braga in the Europa League under Roy Hodgson, and I remember Torres leaving, and then that's when I was still like, it was this point I was like my dad was always pushing for Liverpool. Then the rest of my family and because my local club was all kind of pushing Ipswich, I was still like getting pulled side to side. And then Torres leaving kind of put me like, I think at that point my brain was kind of more towards Ipswich at that point because Torres left, my favourite player. And then this game, like this is the point for me when you say why do I love football and why do I love Liverpool? I go back to this game, remember how I felt watching this game. It's just. And then go back, some of these players on the bench as well that like majority of people would have forgotten. Like this is like literally just my always go-to of my random players you remember and you don't know why is on the bench in this game. Kiriakos, I can't remember how to pronounce his first name. It's like Sofianos Kiriakos or something. Played for Liverpool for like 2 years, but he's just a big Greek centre half who used to come off the bench. I always remember him, and I have no idea why. Like Peter Galatsky as well, on Leipzig keepers.
Yeah,
on the
I do remember that.
Like my foot champs was the other day.
Thanks,
as soon as I saw him,
are you going to make a comment? Come on.
As soon as I saw Leipzig doing well, I saw his name. My head went, he's our 4th choice keeper. He used to be Rayner Jones, Alexander Donny, and then Galatsky. Like, he was the 4th choice keeper when I was like 9, and I remember him.
Enough about us two reminiscing here. Jake's been a bit quiet. I mean, being a United fan, he's not really had much to reminisce over the last 8 years or so.
Yeah. Right now, I prefer not to speak.
But just go back to the good old days when Fergie was in charge.
Well. I'd say the main person that probably got me in because it was just Rooney. I don't know, like when I was younger, like his exploits for like England and stuff like that when he was younger. I don't know, it's just something about Rooney, and then obviously he joined United and that, and I kind of just followed Rooney, and then that's kind of where like I started to watch Manchester United, and then like it's all down to Rooney, to be honest. That's why he's my favourite player of all time. Like,
and he's doing a stunning job at Derby.
I just loved Rooney, just like everything about him. Like, but he gave his all. Was just always aggressive on the pitch. Like, never gave an inch or whatever. And then I just kind of just followed him, and then obviously it developed into supporting Manchester United.
He's certainly turning into one hell of a manager as well.
Yeah, I know. Everybody keeps Derby up. He's in the GOAT conversation.
It's incredible, really. But if we're going back to the subject of a game, I have thought of a game now that really springs in the memory for me, and it was actually from that season we got promoted, and it was the playoff final, that 1-0 victory against Sheffield United, where Wade Elliott scored that absolute screamer at Wembley. I mean, that will stick with the memory for so long. I remember I was in Mallorca on holiday when the game was on, in a pub, and I vividly remember it because I'd lost my dad because I'd just wandered off somewhere. And some guy at a bar tried handing me a Snickers bar, which would have gone down well.
That's a bit dodgy.
That would have gone down well.
So basically, you were nearly...
I probably wouldn't have been here today if that had happened.
Basically, your touching story about how you got into football is that you started off with you nearly getting abducted.
Just walked off in some random Mallorcan bar, nearly got handed a Snickers, so it could have gone either way, really. But
you could have been the male Madeleine McCann, but instead you're a massive Burnley fan.
Thanks, Rob. Really helpful, that. Have I got to edit this bit out?
Nah.
No.
Okay, well, there's a consensus then.
You can have the odd slightly questionable joke in there.
Well, it's not me that's getting cancelled, it'll be you that gets cancelled.
Two shits.
I'm trying to think of another Burnley game that I can remember. It was a game, a Leicester away game. It was just limbs in the last minute. Ross Wallace scoring a 95th minute free kick to equalise. Remember, Phil Dowd was the referee that game.
I'm just looking
through.
Like,
Phil Dowd used to referee Premier League. Where is he now? Is he just retired?
He refereed that United Liverpool game.
Did he?
About earlier as well.
Does he even referee anymore?
I'm just looking through some stuff, and apparently, I was just looking through the Liverpool squad of that season, 10-11, to see if there's anyone else I'd forgotten. And I was just scrolling down and found the games, and apparently we beat Everton 4-1 in a pre-season friendly, and Jamie Carragher scored a penalty.
First of all, why were you actually playing Everton in the pre-season friendly?
Whose idea was it to put Jamie Carragher on pens?
I'd say
even if it was a friendly
plan,
against
really.
Everton. Who puts Carragher on a penno?
Interesting.
Oh, we had Paul Konchesky as well. Roy Hodgson's brilliant signing he made. Ryan Babel.
He's another one. Remember when he came back to Fulham and was absolutely useless?
It's showing the improvement in our academy now. You see, like, Curtis Jones coming through, Trent obviously come through a couple of years ago, some of the likes we got coming through. At this point, these are two big youngsters looking through this squad. We had three big youngsters coming through in this squad. And from what I can see here, John Flanagan.
Don't even know where he's playing anymore.
John Joe Shelby. And Jay Spearing.
He's still a Prem footballer, to be honest.
Where is Jay Spearing? He's playing for Tranmere, isn't he?
I feel like he was at Tranmere. I don't know. I feel like he might have retired now.
No, I think he still does play for Tranmere.
I feel like I see him doing a lot of punditry now, so I didn't know whether he might just be injured. I thought he might.
John Flanagan is he not at Rangers?
Yeah, he does play for Tranmere.
Does he?
I thought he might have retired.
Well, we obviously know John Joe's at Newcastle, the worst player in the richest club in the world.
I don't know. They're definitely worse than John Joe Shelby.
Yeah, that's good. Let me rephrase. One of the worst.
He's now at HB Kurg in Denmark. John Flanagan.
God, how he's sunk.
Didn't Buddy Cafu give him like?
I don't know if that's how you pronounce.
He's going to be world class or whatever, and then his career.
I'm pretty sure there's like when Cafu spoke about Trent and they got chucked everywhere. I'm pretty sure saw that.
Do you think Trent was aspiring to be John Flanagan one day?
He probably was at one point, or Glenn Johnson at least.
Yeah.
Well, when was it?
Danny Pacheco as well.
When was Flanagan in the team? What year again? Was it the title? Was it when you just fell short of the title?
Well, I know he joined us on loan. I know he joined us.
14. That's when he got. Yeah, when Glenn. That was when we were phasing out Glenn Johnson to try.
I know when he started to. I know when he started to sink because he joined us on loan in 2016-17, and I think he played twice for us.
Yeah, Trent would have just literally turned a teenager.
Soterios, that's how you say his name. Soterios Kiriakos. Just ran Greek defender. Someone I always remember. I just remember Kiriakos coming off the bench. You know, like now if we bring. Current situation, we bring on Joe Gomez if we're like hanging on to a lead and go three at the back. This is what we used to do. We used to bring on Kiriakos and have Skirt or Aga Kiriakos, three like 6'4", massive scary centre arse to see the game out.
No player was an absolute state in the early
49 appearances, 3 goals he made.
No player will ever be as much of a cult hero than the goalkeeper that wore trousers, Gabor Kiraly.
Yeah,
Burnley legend he was.
This is so funny just looking back.
Yeah,
like, he was bought in 2000. He signed him in 2009. As like this, because we were trying to cover the fact that Sami Hyypiä left, and we replaced it. And the idea was we'd get Kiriakos in to replace Sami Hyypiä.
Isn't it Hyypiä or something?
He's basically the Clavan of his day, though. To be fair,
Sami Hyypiä.
Yeah, that's how I'd say it.
Yeah, Hyypiä. Yeah. I wouldn't know really. Just you reminiscing here just makes us realise how shit Liverpool were.
Those
3 seasons.
Early 2010.
This is what I come back to, and like people, this is when obviously naturally because I'm a Liverpool fan from the other end of the country, so like naturally when you get people saying no,
you're a fake supporter.
Yeah, when you get that's what I come back to. Like I watched the Roy Hodgson era and went, yes, this is my club.
This is my team.
I don't know why, but
the other thing with me, I suppose more commitment when I do get to go to games because I drive that far. I went 4 hours there, 4 hours back to watch us lose 2-1 at home to Wigan to a Gary Caldwell penalty.
I always specifically remember the time you signed Robbie Keane. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Like, you bought him and then sold him 6 months later back to Tottenham, didn't you? That was so random. Like,
yeah.
You bought him for like 18 mil and then he had
Sent
an absolute rotter, and you sold him back to Spurs, but he's 6 months later. I don't know why I always remember that, but yeah, strange.
And we've been focusing a lot on Liverpool and Burnley here. I mean,
that's because I'm just
we're reminiscing here.
We're doing this episode because I started talking about this earlier, and then
we're reminiscing here of the glory days. Well, I say the glory days. It's not really there isn't such a thing as glory days for Burnley, really.
Where's he now?
Other than today,
wasn't he?
Woot Weghorst. Who's smashing it?
Suso was smashing it at Milan a couple of years ago. What's happened to him now?
He plays at Sevilla, doesn't
he? He is at Sevilla.
Sevilla, is he?
Yeah.
Pretty sure he is.
So I'd probably pack him all the time, I think, bro. 82 rated right winger, non-rare card.
Non-rare, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Sevilla. He was one of our talented youngsters.
I think one of my earliest memories as a United fan was, that goal Rooney scored against Newcastle where he's just berating the ref and then Buddy just runs onto it and just volleys it top bin.
Yeah.
I was just literally like I was 5, so obviously you don't really understand much, but I was just literally gobsmacked at how he's just literally having to go at the ref and then he just runs onto it and just absolutely lashes it into the top bins. I was just like,
I don't think any Rooney goal.
Incredible,
the Rooney goal that sticks with me has obviously got to be the overhead kick against City. I mean,
yeah, and Nani crosses in, takes a deflection. And it's just,
Rooney.
Yeah, top bins and Joe Hart's
it defies description.
Yeah, I love Rooney. He's my all-time favourite player.
This is the
thing is though, I don't actually know who my all-time favourite Burnley player would be. That's a genuine question. I don't know.
And it's easy for me and Jake because we'll go Rooney and Gerrard as our two all-time favourites.
Burnley don't really have that sort of player though, really.
Well, the way it's going to be Jota soon. The way he's going.
Max, can I say Max or Cornet?
That's the thing. Like Jensen, who was at your club for 10 years.
As well.
Obviously you didn't really get to see much of his career.
No,
he couldn't really.
I've grown up in the time where Burnley have been in the Championship, really.
Yeah, exactly.
And I've not really been able to get to many games.
Jensen, wasn't Jensen at the club for almost 10 years? So I feel like
I don't actually know
because he sticks out in my mind for some reason. When he played for Burnley, but
this
I feel
window as well.
He probably joined
I know he's goalkeeping coach at Shrewsbury now, Brian Jensen.
Yeah, he was probably.
He joined in 2003.
Bro, what? So
on a free transfer.
You'd been what, 1?
I'd have been 1 year old.
Bro, that's mental.
I remember in the point I started getting that United game. It was then that summer that we then had a complete overhaul and signed 7 people, and this is where I started having posters and everything up on the walls. It was that sort of point. So it would have been the summer where I turned 9. This window now, looking back, we got Hendo in for the only one that's gone that kind of went well was Hendo. We got a 21-year-old Jordan Henderson in for 16 million.
That's the thing though, but that started off absolutely dreadfully.
Yeah, that started off bad. We spent 20 million pounds on Stuart Downing. We signed Charlie Adam.
Jeez.
Oh, Jose Enrique went well. He was brilliant. Stepped down from what we got now, Robbo and Simicast, but at the time he was unbelievable. Sebastian Cuates we signed when he was a 20-year-old playing in the Ukraine. I think that's the Uruguayan league. We signed Danny Ward. We signed him from Wrexham when he was 18. We got Craig Bellamy back in for a year come have a second spell.
Craig
flipping Bellamy. Yeah, you were right, Jake. Jensen has been at Burnley for 10 years.
Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
Then he joined Bury, who obviously
he was 1 year old when he
no longer a thing.
Crazy.
I think the one Burnley player that really sticks to me is Ben Mee, because obviously he's still he was there when I first supported Burnley, and he's still there today. 10 years he's been at the club.
Yeah.
But obviously he's out of contract this summer as well. But I think he'll sign a new one. He'll sign a new one. He's Burnley's skipper, for goodness sake.
I remember him.
But yeah, I think he's not my favourite player, Ben Mee, but he just resonates with me so much because of how long he's been at the club.
Yeah.
We loaned Joe Cole to Lille in 2011.
Joe Cole always made them weird sort of transfers.
Yeah.
Weird bloke.
That reminds me of
I'm trying to think of other clubs that might have a sort of cult heroes. Man City, they've only really had any history in the last 10 years.
Dunn's that one.
Richard Dunn, Robinho.
He genuinely is that.
Robinho,
club legend.
Oh well, yeah. let's not speak.
Yeah,
Let's not speak.
There's definitely had a
prefer
couple
not to speak.
down this city.
But, Richard Dunn is actually like their cult hero. And what's that other guy? Sean Goat or whatever his name is.
Sean Goat.
Yeah, that's who I was trying to think of. Yeah.
Yeah, him and Richard Dunn are like the two.
This is basically just turned back to. This is just.
Company is kind of as well.
Oh no, yeah,
Company's
Company's.
I
agree with whole Company.
So
part of me.
I would say he's a cult hero. He is just
a hero.
Yeah.
Part of me is forgetting that this is like we're recording because we haven't got because we haven't got the headphones on as well. I feel like we're just having a conversation.
I actually prefer it like this, to be fair.
It's alright,
like,
to be fair.
What's his name? Was his name Michael Johnson as well?
Michael.
Adam.
He was a
the big, one of the big. We're talking about.
he was a baller, but then obviously like. I don't know if it's like mental health or whatever, but yeah.
What we were talking about earlier, we were talking about
Roger
Dele Alli,
Johnson.
Yeah. Me and Jake were debating the other week, is Dele Alli the biggest drop-off in potential we've ever seen? And you think Michael Johnson's up there, although that was obviously for other issues.
That was like the time, buddy, where like Stephen Ireland was playing for City.
Oh no.
Stephen Ireland.
Yeah, Stephen Ireland.
It makes me think of like old Stoke teams now, like the Lap era Stoke.
Danny Higginbottom, Robbie Delap,
Ibrahim Afellay as well.
Afellay,
Bojan.
But they had like more Champions League winners in their squad than like the entire bloody like.
Bojan, Afellay.
I think there's a point when they had like the most
the
same amount of Champions League winners as like the rest of the league combined.
Yeah.
And United and Liverpool had won the Champions League in the last 10 years at this point.
Ryan Shawcross, Robert.
And this is literally like 2 years. This would have been like 3 years after Chelsea won the Champions League, and they had more Champions League winners in their squad than Chelsea.
Talking of a cult hero, remember me and you were discussing this guy the other day, Alex.
Alex.
Yeah. Oh, he had an absolute rocket on him, bro.
Yeah.
Buddy.
That's why I love some of the things like
the power he had in his right foot, bro. That's literally.
That's literally like Daniel Agger, but his left foot.
I've just realised we've got to be out of this studio in 10 minutes, but oh well. There's no one actually booked in after us, but it might have become a bit over. But I mentioned about Huth a minute ago. Leicester team of 2015-16 will always go down as one of the biggest mysteries in football.
A Leicester one, not from that year though.
You just got players from Leicester. You did lots of Marcin Vasilevsky, who's now a WWE wrestler, I think.
He got one for Leicester. He's obviously in his general career. He's not just a cult hero. He's just a brilliant player. Because he just went to Leicester for a year and left again. Esteban
Cambiasso.
Yeah. I'm actually sad because obviously he was there the season before they won the league.
Yeah.
I wish he stayed so we could win the league with him. That would have been such a
But then
cool
him
story.
go and allowed the partnership of Drinkwater and Kante, which is what won them the league.
True.
Kante would have been a bench player.
Didn't Cambiasso score like such an important
goal? Man United game.
Yeah, he scored one.
It was where Di Maria scored that screamer where he just literally scooped it over Schmeichel.
I feel like it was another goal later on the season.
I think it was one that literally kept them in the league.
I'm pretty sure he did score one against West Ham or something.
Yeah, I'm thinking that I'm pretty sure there was one like later in the season.
I'm going to get my Google out.
As well. The lap and Crouch era, like we were saying, them ones as well. Mama Beer, I'm Juve.
You know
Ryan Shawcross.
You know the emoji that's caused a bit of a
yes.
Yeah, they're freaking them out. Someone saying
the lap in like the 88th minute.
Roy the lap with a towel there.
His throw there, that was an absolute bloody
mental,
weapon. That was absolute weapon of a throw. There's literally
Lee Cattermole. That's what I'm trying to think of as well. Not for Stoke, just another one.
Yeah, Lee Cattermole was bloody vicious, bro.
Like most bookends in the Premier League.
Yeah, he was vicious.
It was West Ham that he scored the winner against.
Yeah. Well, when was that? Like
April 2015.
Yeah, see, I knew there was a late goal somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, it was an important one that basically kept them in the league. Yeah. And they won it the year later.
Yeah, but who was I just saying?
He was, to be fair to Cambiasso, he was offered a new deal by the club, but he turned it down.
Fair enough. He was quite old though, wasn't he? Where did he go after Leicester? Did he go back to
I'm pretty sure, I have a feeling he went back to Inter. Oh no, he went to Olympiacos.
Oh, Olympiacos. That was nowhere near
Champions League football, maybe.
Yeah, he signed a 2-year deal with Olympiacos.
But yeah, like the fact that people used to kick it out for like a corner instead of a throw in the lap is actually mental.
Yeah, you'd rather give it you generally rather Pulis era Stoke. You'd rather concede.
Pulis era Stoke will go down as one of the best areas in that football club.
Yeah, goated. But
trying to run through teams. Thomas Sorensen was in goal, weren't he? Then it moved into Jack Butland.
Don't forget Asmir Begovic.
Begovic, yeah. Asmir, not Adam. Where have I got Adam from? Asmir.
Adam Begovic.
Off the crumb.
Shut up. Leave me alone.
That's one of the funniest things you've said, and you've said many funny things.
Thank you, Jake. I am a comedian. I try to make people laugh
we need to get some sort of. We need to find some clips out of this. I guarantee if you go back through some old episodes, I'll be.
I'm not making that my job. I do far too much.
Clips, off the crumb that'll just be funny.
What even made you say off the
I don't know.
Just want to make like a montage of our stupidest moments, and we can go back to this.
Oh, trust me, there'll be plenty of them.
Exactly. I just can't be bothered to listen back to old episodes.
Remember, away the lads.
Oh, yeah.
That intro. There's been a couple of shambolic intros this year. I don't know if they all made the cut or not.
Last week's intro wasn't much better.
I can't remember if you cut them. I know the outro.
I don't bother cutting anything. I mean, I've left in various clips that are worse than that.
Yeah, you did.
At the end of the Question of Sport one, I mean, that's a bit.
The guy I randomly
you have to cut a lot out of that one. So.
The guy I randomly remember is Jeremy, who used to play for Chelsea. I don't know if you guys remember him, but
no.
Jeremy, who used to play for Chelsea. I don't know. He just sticks on my mind. Also, Freddie Carnuti as well for West Ham. What a don.
I was just randomly remembering old Swansea players the other day, like when they had like Alfie Morse on the back, like Luciano Narsing down one side, Leroy Furr in the middle.
Me too.
Wayne Routledge, yeah, like that was.
What was
I was randomly running through back then.
What's his name? Chico Flores or whatever.
Chico Flores, one that Sam Allardyce laughed at.
Brendan Rodgers era Swansea is mental.
Brendan Rodgers era Swansea. Pulis' era Stoke.
Pochettino and Koeman Southampton.
Yep.
Hodgson West Brom. Well, early years of Hodgson West Brom.
There's got to be some more, isn't there?
Zoltan Guerrero.
Zoltan Guerrero.
What a player he was, by the way.
He actually was.
Yeah, he actually was quite underrated, but.
Like those sort of teams, though, that's why I like the Premier. That's why you.
Moyes' era Everton.
Yeah, Moyes Everton. Well, I didn't really like that one at the time.
Nah, but you can't.
Came during a spell where we were rubbish as well.
Stephen Pienaar.
Martin O'Neill at Villa.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a balling team, but
and now it's Moyes West Ham now.
Ashley Young, John Carew up front.
Even Nuno Wolves' first season.
Yeah, but then everyone found him out.
Yeah, then they got found out. They got caught out after that. But like that season when you had Doherty and Johnny. I mean, Johnny's been injured there for the last 2 years or something. Doherty, Johnny, Jimenez on full form, Traore when he actually had end product.
Really?
Neves and Moutinho still there. Like the thing is, so much of that team is the same, but they're just. I think that's probably part of the problem. They've been trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, but I think they are trying to change it.
They're doing very. Although they were trying to do the same. I should say they were. Obviously now they are mixing it up with Bruno Lage, or however you say it.
We had this discussion last week that we couldn't pronounce his name.
Is that
Bruno Lage?
It's either Large or Large.
Laggy or something.
Laggy.
Bruno Laggy.
Yeah, that's what Rob's saying, bro. And the internet's bloody messing him about with bloody champs.
Yeah.
But I think it's because obviously people do the play on words like with the FPL like lager or whatever. So I don't know if it is large or lager or whatever. But yeah, he's had a very good.
He has had a good season.
He'll win manager of the month because he won 3 from 3. So that should be enough for him to get it because. Even City dropped points this month. They haven't done that since October.
How old is Moutinho? I don't know why.
34, I want to say 34.
35. But he's 36 in September. And he's still balling,
bruh.
What a player, man.
I think we do need to start wrapping this up shortly.
Yeah, so basically, Nadal is the greatest tennis player of all time. You two need to watch tennis.
Thank you, Jake.
Yeah.
Okay, just to finish, we'll go one cult hero each.
Woof.
Over the past, I'd say, since 2010.
2010.
Let's say. I'm
going to say Johan Cabaye for Newcastle.
Oh, we're going one general. We're going the general one. We're going the general ones. We haven't even mentioned the name Adel Tarabt yet.
I feel his era was like. I feel like he was decent, but I always feel like his championship season for QPR kind of gets a bit like intertwined with him being like it. Because I remember in the championship he was like
goated.
I mean, if you're picking one of all time, my head wants to go Michu, but I think I've got to go. For my own personal reasons, I think I have to go one of Maxie Rodriguez and Dirk Kell. Probably Maxie Rodriguez because Kell was a bit more of a recognised player. Maxie Rodriguez, he came for 2.5 years, bagged a few goals, made me fall in love with the club.
There's some really
and then
terrible
left.
Liverpool player I'm trying to think of that was like an attacker for you, or like.
When was this? We've had a
ended
few.
in like Vitch or something like that.
We've had a few, mate.
Or was he a midfielder? I can't remember.
I had him up earlier. It was like Junuvovic or something.
Yeah. There was some
left winger.
Yeah, him. I think it might be him.
Yeah, Hodgson signed him and Dalglish sold him straight away.
I remember him being absolutely dreadful.
Yeah, he lasted a year.
I can think of two. I can think of two cult heroes that I'd probably say. I'd say Santiago Virginie for the best own goal in Premier League history.
That is class, to be fair.
Actually, I think I've got to change. I've got to go Lucas. I've got to go Lucas Leiva. 10 years, absolute legend.
Who would I say?
If you're not a Liverpool fan, you probably think he didn't do much despite being there 10 years. But every Liverpool, there won't be a Liverpool fan that hates Lucas.
I'm gonna go Peter Odemwingie.
Even the most divisive, like people that just try and come up with annoying opinions for the sake of it, even they will say, even those Liverpool fans will say that they all love Lucas Leiva.
Yeah, but it'll be Maxwell Cornet soon, so we'll gloss over that at some point.
I wish Jake had his camera on. Isn't he falling off his chair? I wish he had his camera on.
But
I survived. I've got the balance of a cat, bro.
We are going to be taking a short break from the podcast. Well, I say a short break, 1 week off. It's only because of me, because
it's my birthday tomorrow. I ain't slacking, bro.
You haven't put your bloody camera on.
You don't have to fucking edit this thing.
Me and Jake could easily record an episode, but we'd need Ben to edit it because it would be a shambles.
Exactly, and I'm away on Tuesday, Wednesday.
He's going to refuse to do that, so you have to miss out. So blame Ben.
It is poor from me, but oh well.
You should have just changed your birthday, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I'll just do it a bit later. Just do it a bit later in the week.
Anyway, and not go out. We could just record one, just see how shambles it is without Ben.
If you want to record it, you can do.
But you'd have no recording, just start and just upload it without any editing.
Yeah, no, we'll just try not to make any balls up.
So just upload the Zoom call or something.
We won't even put the graphic in.
Exactly. But anyway,
to end this podcast, I would just like to say, Nadal is the GOAT. Goodbye, everyone.
No, well, I'm not finished yet. Actually,
unrelated to the episode,
I'd like to say on behalf of the HMB HMB podcast, we'd like to wish you a very happy birthday for tomorrow, Jake, as we are recording this.
Yeah.
But we'll probably just
have a happy podcast.
Yeah, well, it's my birthday tomorrow, and then Ben's exactly.
Well, it's already been Jake's birthday by the time this goes out.
True.
Yeah,
actually.
Exactly. So
I'll be
sucks
18,
to be you.
bro.
22, you mean?
Sucks to be you.
No.
Yeah, I'll let you do your outro again.
Yep, so Nadal, 21 Grand Slams, the best tennis player of all time. Thank you and goodbye.
Ta-ra.